Okay, here's the first 8 questions, the solutions for the first 8 questions to the mock exam that you just sat before Christmas, which is the November 2017 paper, and it's the Unit 2, so it's the calculator paper. So we'll just make a start with question 1. I want to work out 8% of 3.25, so if you want to work out 8, using your calculator, you can either use a multiply, which would be 0.08, or do 8 divided by 100. So you divide your percentage by 100 and then times it by the number you're finding the percentage of. So on your calculator, you do 8 divided by 100 times by 3.25, and that gives me an answer of 0.26 pounds or 26 pence. Okay, for part B, you've got to follow your rules of binless. So 2/9 of 513 is the same as saying 2/9 times 513, and you can work out this as well. So I would work out this bit first. So you've got 0.65 times 280, that gives me 182. Then I'm taking away 2/9 of 513, or if you remember my song, to find the fraction of a number, divided by the bottom and times it by the top. So 513 divided by 9 times by 2. That gives me 114 for this bit. And then I'm just doing 182, take away 114, which is 68. Okay, C, you just put it into the calculator as it is. So I've got 3.5, that's the squared button there, X with a little 2 up in the A, minus the square root of 8.6. If I press equals, it gives me it in third form, but if I press my SD button, then that will give me it as a decimal. So if I write the full answer down first of all, 9.317424434, then I've got to round that to 2 decimal places, so I need to round it. There's my first decimal place, the first number after the point is my second decimal place, so I've got to round it at this point. So my answer is either going to be 9.31 or 9.32, depending on what this digit is. If it's 5 or greater, I round up. If it's 4 or less, it stays the same. So because it's a 7, I'm going to round up, so it's going to be 9.32. Okay, question 2. It's asking you to find the difference between the following times. So 7:30 in the morning on the 1st November to 13:20 on the 3rd of November 2017. So from 7:30 on the 1st of November 2017 to the 7:30 November, the 2nd of November 2017, that's going to be 24 hours. And then from 7:30 on the 2nd of November to 7:30 on the 3rd of November, that's going to be another 24 hours. And then we're going from 7:30 on the 3rd of November to 13:20. So 7:30 to 13, or we'll say 12:30, is going to be 5 hours. And then from 12:30 to the next hour, which would be 1300, would be 30 minutes. And then 1300 to 13:20 is going to be 20 minutes. So if we add all those times up, we've got 24 hours there, 24 hours there, we've got another 5 hours there, and then we've got 30 and 20 minutes. So altogether we've got 24 plus 24 plus 5, so that gives me 53 hours. Sorry, wanted it in days, hours, and minutes. Sorry, I didn't see that. So we've got 24 hours there, 24 hours there, which is going to be 2 days. Then we've got 5 hours, and we want 30 plus 20 minutes, so it's going to be 50 minutes. So final answer would be 2 days, 5 hours, and 50 minutes. Okay. Divide 16 hours, 20 minutes by 5. Well, we can do a little bit of a cheat here. We can use the time key on my calculator, which is this button here. So if I just put in 16 hours, 20 minutes, and then just divide by 5, you can see on my calculator it's come up as 3 circles 16 with a dash and then 0 dash dash. That means 3 hours 16 minutes and 0 seconds. So my answer is just 3 hours and 16 minutes. I don't need to put the 0 seconds down. Okay, question 3. It might help if we put the cars in order before we do anything with this first of all. So we've got 5, 9, 11, 18, 20 and 23. And it says your numbers written to be written on the blank card. The mode and the median of all 7 numbers are both the same. Find one possible number that can be written on the blank card. So you've got 2 options here. So the number in the middle here would be the median, and that's going to be the same as the mode. So you could pick 2 numbers here. You could actually have 11, because I've had 11. 11 would be my median and also would be the mode because I've got 2 11s. Or I could pick 18 because I would have 18 then as my median and 18 as my mode because I'd have 2 18s. So you can either pick 11 or 18 for that question there. Okay. B, one extra number is added to the following list of 3 numbers. The mean of the new list of 4 numbers is 1 less than the mean of the original 3 numbers. So the first thing you need to do here is to work out what the mean of those 3 numbers are. So to work out the mean, you add up all the numbers and then divide by how many numbers there are. So there's 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3, so we're going to divide by 3. If I add those up, that comes to 27. So 27 divided by 3 gives me an answer of 9. So the mean of those 3 numbers is 9. It says here the mean of the new list of 4 numbers is 1 less than the mean of the original 3 numbers. So the new mean is going to be 1 less than the original list. So it's 9 take away 1, so it's going to be 8. So the new mean of the 4 numbers is 8. So the total of the new numbers, because there's 4 of them and the mean is 8, is going to be 4 times 8, so that means they add up to 32. Well, the original list, the old total of old numbers is 6 plus 8 plus 13, which is 27. So that means that if I take one away from the other, that will tell me what number was added to the original list. So 32 take away 27 gives me an answer of 5. So 5 is the number that's been added. Okay, question 4. How would the direction due west be written as a 3-figure bearing or circle your correct answer? So north is always pointing up the page there, and then it's never eat shredded wheat. Bearings are always measured from the north line in a clockwise direction. So due west, and if I start north, I would have to turn through 3/4 of a turn until I get to west. So that's going to be 90 plus another 90 plus another 90, which is going to be 270 degrees. Okay, there are 360 degrees in a full turn. A pointer facing due south is spun clockwise 3 3/4 full turns. In which direction would the pointer now be facing? So again, using compass points, I've got north up the page, east, south, west. So we're starting off with my pointer facing downwards, and it's going clockwise, so it's going this way, the same way as a clock hand. So if I went and did 1 full turn, I'd be back to the start. 2 full turns, I'd be back to the start again. 3 full turns, I'd be back to the start again. And then I'm going 3/4 of a turn. So that's 1/4, that's another quarter, and 3/4 I would end up facing in this direction here, which is east. Okay, what is the bearing of P, point P from A? So with bearings, you measure from the letter that comes after the word from. So we measure them from A, and again we always go from the north in a clockwise direction. So I need that angle there. Well, I know that this little angle here is 40 degrees, and you should know that angles on a straight line is 180. So 180 plus the 40 gives me 220. So the bearing of P from A is 220. Okay, Question 5 is a straightforward area question of a trapezium, and you should remember that the formula for the area of a trapezium is given for you at the front. So if we just write that down, area of a trapezium, I'll just write it down exactly as it is at the front, is a half A plus BH. Okay, well this means a half times A plus B times H. Well, H stands for the height, so this is my height here, 9.4, and A and B are the lengths of your parallel sides. It doesn't matter really which one you call A and B. Okay, so A is 17.3 and B is 8.2. All I need to do now is substitute those into the formula. So I've got a half times A, 17.3, plus B, which is 8.2, times the height, which is 9.4. And if I put that into my calculator exactly as it is there, I'm going to get the correct answer. So use my fraction button, I put in a half, then I'm timesing, close brackets, open brackets, sorry, 17.3 plus 8.2, close brackets, and then times by 9.4, and that gives me an answer of, pressing the SD button, this gives me 119.85, and that's going to be centimeters squared because it's area, and it does say give the units of your answer, so if you don't do that, you're going to lose a mark. Okay, question 6. It says express 54 as a percentage of 129, give your answer to the nearest whole number. So if I'm going to do that, I write it as a fraction first of all, so 54 over 129, and to change it into a percentage, I'm just timesing by 100. So 54 divided by 129 times by 100, that gives me an answer of 41.86 naught blah blah blah, but I've got to give it to the nearest whole number, so 41.86 is closer to 42 than it is 41, so my answer would be 42. Okay, using a little bit of bar modeling for 6b, I've got 25.8 kilograms, which have got to be shared into a total of, I've got 6 parts altogether, so if I just split this into 6 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I know that the whole amount of that has got to be 25.8 kilograms. So I want to work out what each block is, so to do that I can just do 25.8 divided by 6. So that tells me that each block here is 4.3, so that's 4.3, that's 4.3, that's 4.3, 4.3, 4.3, 4.3. So I've got a share in ratio 5 to 1, so I can see that 5 shares are going to be 5 lots of 4.3, which is 21.5, and 1 block is going to be 4.3. Okay, number 7, you've got the word astragalus written on some cards. The card is selected at random and the letter on the card is recorded. The experiment is carried out 325 times. How many times would you expect the letter Y to be recorded? So we need, first of all, we need to write down the probability of selecting the letter of Y. So we've got 2 Y's in total, out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards. And if I want to work out how many times I expect the letter Y, it's the probability multiplied by the number of times that I actually carried out the experiment, which is 325. And to work that out on my calculator, it's just 2 divided by 13 times by 325, and that gives me an answer of 50. So I'd expect to get the letter Y 50 times if it was carried out 325 times. Okay, last question, number 8. You're asked to work out the area of the shaded region. So to work out the area of a shaded region, it would be the area of the square ABCD minus the area of the semicircle here. Okay, this is an organisation, communication, and accuracy in writing questions, so you need to make sure each of your calculations has got explanation, you've got all your workings out and your correct units and your spellings correct as well. So first thing I'm going to do is work out the length of the square, because I need to work out the area of the square. Length of the square. So because I know that's 4.2, then this side has got to be 4.2. So that means that the length of the square is going to be 2 lots of 4.2, which is 8.4 centimeters. So then the area of the square, if that's 8.4 there, that's got to be 8.4. And to work out the area, it's length times width. So it's going to be 8.4 times 8.4. That gives me an answer of 70.56 centimeters squared, because it's area. Now we need to work out the area of the semicircle. So the area of semicircle. So the area of full circle is pi r squared. But I want half of that, so I'm going to divide by 2. So pi is just the number on your calculator, which is 3.14, and I'm timesing it by r squared. R is the radius. Well, the radius is the distance from the center to the edge of the circle, which is 4.2. So it's 4.2 squared, and then that's all divided by 2. So if I put that now again into my calculator, to get the pi button is shift second function, and I press the times 10 to the power of x button because the pi button's above that there. Then I'm timesing by 4.2 squared, press the x to the power of 2 button for squared. Then I'm dividing by 2 to get, press SD to get it as a decimal. So my answer is 27.7088472, and again that's centimeters squared. And then to get the shaded region, it's the area of the square, which is 70.56, minus the half a circle here, which we've just worked out to be 27 point, we'll write as 27.71 to 2 decimal places. You just take one away from the other. So 70.56 take away 27.71, that gives me an answer of 42.85 centimeters squared.